friends. We're entering into Lent. It's a time and a season of reflection, of prayer, and intentional practices. This year, I'm bringing that into my knitting with a 40-day long project. And I'm tossing a couple of them around just to make life interesting because sometimes I just can't decide. Do you want to hear what the plans are? Stick around. Hi, it's Doll from Doll Can Create. You can too. I am so glad that you're here with me today, and just let me give you an idea what I'm talking about. I'm looking at doing a 40-day long log cabin blanket project for Lent. One section each day, building slowly, just like our faith can deepen over time. I have barely started, but I wanted to give you an idea of, it's 10 stitches, 20 stitches. This is hand spun local yarn. So that's kind of where I'm starting from at this point, step by step. The log cabin technique is simple. It's a modular way of knitting where you start with a small square, then you pick up the stitches and knit this way, and then you pick up the stitches and knit this way, and pick up the stitches and knit this way, and you keep going around and around and around. There's no seaming. You're just going to be picking up stitches as you go. I have my notes here so I don't lose track of what I want to say to you. So excuse me for reaching there. It's perfect metaphor really for Lent and how we layer our spiritual growth depending on, it doesn't matter what your spiritual belief system is, but we can layer our growth building upon a strong foundation. And I think that's really important too, that we start with the strong foundation and then we continue. So the plan, we have 40 days, 40 sections. So depending on the yarn that you're using and the size of the needles, it'll be bigger or smaller. We'll have to see how that goes. There's a log cabin pattern that's called the 10 stitch pattern. And if you look on Ravelry, I think you can find it there. It may even be a free pattern. I will have a pattern available. If anyone is interested, just leave a message in the comments below and I can email that to you or DM that to you. So each day of the plan, we're going to knit one section. Some days it'll be maybe a simple garter stitch. Other days we might choose to use other kinds of stitches that help us to reflect on a Lenten journey. I'm going to be using a lot of neutral tones. However, I do have jars such as this one with hand spun in somewhat muted tones. Some of them are a little bit brighter. But what I might do is use the brighter tones, that blue and this lovely purple, maybe even the pink, as we get closer to Easter. And then when we get to Easter, I have this lovely green, right? When the world and life becomes alive again. So you can choose your colors as you go, depending on what you want, or you can pick yarn that you have in your stash that suit the color scheme you want for the blanket. I like the idea of using more neutral tones. It feels more local, more true to what the sheep are. So step one, you knit the square. Begin with a simple garter stitch. Make it easy for yourself. But remember that first square is the foundation of our faith. And then we add the next strip. Once that square is complete, we can pick up stitches along the next side. And then we knit another 10 or 20 rows, depending on how many rows the pattern says you can do. Or you can make up your own mind. I may only do 2 rows. But we can also add meaning into this blanket as we stitch and as we meditate and think about what Lent means for us. We can add in different textures. So different stitches, a garter stitch for simplicity and being steadfast, a moss stitch to symbolize growth, a cross motif, if you can manage that, is a reminder of faith, eyelets and lace to represent renewal and Easter hope. And I was thinking that the lace and the more openness, that renewal, later would be really, really nice as you get to the outside of it. It's more than just a blanket, though. It's a journey. So whether you knit quietly in prayer and reflect on each stitch, or simply use this time to slow down, because don't we all need to slow down? This practice can be a meaningful way to move through the season of Lent. By the time Easter arrives, you'll have a beautiful hand knit reminder of that season and a new tradition to carry forward. I like that idea, a new tradition to carry forward. A couple of other things that you could do instead of this blanket, the log cabin blanket, would be granny squares. Do a granny square a day. You could do other squares, knitted squares, and each square has a stitch design that reflects a part of your faith. Those are two other ones. I'm also looking at the possibility of, I can't believe I'm saying this, but casting on a sweater. Oh my goodness, can I really do this? So larger needles, very loose knitting. We'll see. Same thing though. So each day that I work, I reflect and I pray. Yeah. So if you're knitting along with me, let me know in the comments below. Tell me about the colors you're choosing. What reflections or prayers are you bringing into the stitches? Is this going to be something that you will gift to someone at the end? And if you want more videos on faith and fiber arts as I bring the two together, please remember to like and subscribe and share and do all the YouTube things. I hope you have a wonderful season as we move through Lent towards the cross of Calvary and the beauty and excitement of Easter Day. Happy knitting. May your journey be filled with peace and reflection. It's Doll from Doll Can Create, sitting in my rocking chair, knitting. Know that I'll be keeping you in my prayers, now and always. God bless.